It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Minnesota Vikings and getting our first look at JJ McCarthy here at training camp. We're going to watch him throw the rock around, work through some drills and everything else. But before we begin, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at your rookies. We're looking at your quarterback battles. And we're looking at those guys who are getting ready to draft in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Know what your players are doing behind the scenes because the season is going to come at you fast. But here we are. We're looking at JJ McCarthy, almost 2 minutes of clips here. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. We're going to talk about the Vikings, fantasy football analysis with this team, JJ McCarthy and everything else. Stick around for all that. But here we go. There he is. There he is. They were inside yesterday. Getting it out there. JJ McCarthy, we've been paying attention to him. Here's another one. Throughout his inception, throughout his rookie season last year, training camp, OTAs, and everything else, battling it out with Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold had the camp of his life last year, and JJ McCarthy was still making it competitive with the veteran. Like, he had a couple practices, handful, whatever, I'm just acting off the back of my mind right now, where he won, and it was or competitive with him. That was what JJ McCarthy was doing. Sam Darnold won a lot of practices. He was playing out of his mind. There's Jordan Addison right now. We'll see what's up with the suspension. We'll see what's up with that. There's placement there. Good anticipation there. Here's a slow-mo. And what I like about JJ McCarthy, very confident in his arm and underrated mobility. Like, if he's booting out, if it's not there, but you got a little bit of green in front of him, he's going to get you those yards to get you at least to that first down. At least get you a chunk of yards there to keep you moving forward. Or if you're booting, he's got that arm to sling it while on the run, off kilter. That's what you got with him. Another thing I'm noticing, like you're seeing here, like he's coming into his own right now. We're seeing that a lot with the young quarterbacks here recently. Like, they're coming into their own. They look like they're taking over the offense. This one's very zoomed out, though. You see it. You can definitely tell who's McCarthy. Here's another one. This is a nice, pretty look. This might have to end up the thumbnail. But you're looking at JJ McCarthy right now into a big season here with the Minnesota Vikings. And honestly, I can't see him failing. Like, we have all the tools here athletically. The team put their faith in him by not bringing in another big quarterback to battle with him. You got Justin Jefferson. That is the X factor, and I believe that's going to be the X factor with every team he's with, or with every quarterback he's with, because that is probably going to be one of the better wide receivers we'll see in our lifetime. Justin Jefferson, just consistent every year, good at creating separation, has the speed, has the athleticism, and doesn't matter who's back there at quarterback, he gets it done. Now, his numbers may be up and down, but he gets it done. Even if Addison's out for a little bit, you got Naylor there. You got Hawkinson. And you're good at running back. You're a little bit deeper at running back this year. But Justin Jefferson, just having that elite wide receiver, not just a stud wide receiver, but we know he's probably going to be a potential Hall of Fame candidate one day. And that's a wide receiver that you can just chuck it up to. I almost said chuck it up to while you're back there, pass rush in your face. And if you're in the vicinity, you got a good chance of bringing it in. Also allows you to run at a faster game script. The Vikings like to run at a fast game script. The last 5 years, they average in the top 5. Last year, they were a little bit slower with Darnold. Probably one of the bigger reasons outside the contract probably increasing immensely and then wanting to move on to JJ McCarthy, that they really wanted to move on. They really want to run at a fast pace. That's how they've always been. They've always been good with the quarterbacks too, it feels like. They've always been solid with the quarterbacks. Like, no matter who was in there, they were able to make it work. Sometimes, depending on the quarterback, it could get a little volatile, but compared with other teams having to be in those situations over the years, the last half decade or so, they've been able to get it done. So what we're seeing here with the Minnesota Vikings is a quarterback with a lot of potential, with all the weapons around him. Now, if it's October, November, and you're hating your life with this team due to him, I think it's going to be easy to say that it's probably going to be wrapped up because Like, it's hard to be not competitive at all with what they got around him. However, you could still have a losing record, and you feel like, hey, if he just has a little bit more development, a little bit more time, then you know what? There's going to be still some dog in the fight there that you feel like, hey, he could probably turn it on with this staff. However, if you know, you know, and if it comes to that situation around October, November, Thanksgiving time, that he's not hitting to the point where you're severely out of the playoffs, there's a chance he might get pulled. I don't think you need to worry about a long-term developmental process with the kid. I believe that even with a losing record, that he's going to give you glimpses of hope into 2026, 2027. I believe he can get you a lot more. That's not the take that, hey, that's going to happen. I'm just saying, hey, how to feel if X, Y, Z happens. Like, if the worst happens, I don't think you need to hold on tight and wait for development. They're going to do it anyways, but you got so much around them, like, there's got to be some glimmer of hope, some line in the rainbow for you. If not, it's got to be really bad because of what's around him and what we've seen previously with other quarterbacks. My guess is he's at least going to make you feel good going into the end of the season, going into 2026. I bet you he executes, though. I bet you he executes, because I look at the talent here, the arm talent, the placements. Actually had a decent pedigree coming out of high school. Played for Harbaugh, so limited experience just tossing the rock around, but was a good leader. Got a natty under his belt. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Hawkinson. I believe unless injuries really hit this wide receiver depth chart, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I feel good about him. I feel good. I feel really good about him. There's just so much good around him that he has to hit to some capacity. That he has to give you some light at the end of the tunnel. That he just has to do that. Another thing, let's talk about fantasy football here for a second. I think he's a good value, but the price, depending on your format, has been increasing throughout the offseason. Like, he was a good value on Underdog, but the sharps are trying to get too sharp, and it's increasing. Really depends on what league you're in, what kind of build. Also, if it's Underdog, Justin Jefferson goes high. They want to get that stack, so he goes up a little bit. I believe in your basic home league drafts this year, he's going to be at a good discount. He's going to be at a very good discount where you can get a good quarterback here with good weapons around him that's developing on a team that wants to run at a top-tier pace of play in the league at a very palatable discount. He'll take off with it a few times a game. He'll probably have a good floor, a decent floor for rushing production. Of course, he's not going to be Mike Vick. That would be ignorant to say. But he's got the arm. He's showing some moxie. He's got the tools around him. It's all going to be rather interesting going forward with JJ McCarthy. But I think with what we got around him, though, you got plenty to be excited about. I kind of confused you guys that little, I don't know if it's called a take or not. It's kind of like part of the process. There's only a few quarterbacks that's ever in this situation where if they're a young prospect, they got tools, they look like they're good. But you know, the worst of the worst hits and everything's wrapped around them with like a Justin Jefferson, a Hall of Fame wide receiver. You're good at tight end, you're good at running back, you got a good wide receiver too, and you're hating life. Then it's quite evident that you got a long, long road to hoe, and there's a lot to go on with that. I just don't believe that's going to happen. I just don't believe that's going to happen with him. But the thing is, sometimes it does, not too often. Like, he's at least going to get you by while he's developing. Like, he's got some talent, and he's got talent around him to help buoy his production. I'm very excited about him, actually. I think he has got the potential to really rejuvenate this offense, get it going, get it racked up, and JJ McCarthy can really push it downfield, and that's going to be good with these wide receivers. I think he's a good fit, actually. It just depends if you got a little rookie ramp up there, and even if the rookie ramp up causes a few losses, you just got to watch the overall play, how he's connecting. There's going to be some good moments. Now, if you're not getting any good moments, then maybe you got to think about it. That's really what I'm getting at. Maybe you got to think about it, because if it's that bad with what's around him, then how can it get so much better where you're top tier? It's got to take a lot of developing. I just don't think we're going to be to that point. I think he's going to be pushing it downfield. I think he's going to be electric. That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to grow nicely with the Minnesota Vikings too. You might want to be patient first couple weeks of the season due to, like, it's kind of a rookie ramp up, but he's not really a rookie. But you know what I'm talking about. New to the league, new to the system, new to the game. It is what it is, but he's got the goods, and he's got the goods around him. And if he's not hitting with the goods around him, that should be questionable. But also, it's got to be to the point where you really, really hate it. But I believe the upside's going to be there. I think it's going to come out. Justin Jefferson's going to fuel this team. And you're looking at JJ McCarthy as the leader of the Vikings. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.